I'm going to try and say this as delicately as I can. You are not your past. Let me repeat that. You are not your past. What's happened is done and gone. For any of that to exist in the present moment is a choice you are making. I'm bringing this up because I had a conversation with a friend recently that made me pause and take a step back. What occurred to me is that we sometimes see people very differently than how they see themselves. From the outside, we may see a confident, well put together individual who's overcome many obstacles. I'll call this the victor. Yet when they look in the mirror, they'll see a very different person, one with flaws and is lacking all that we see as an observer. I'll call this the victim. How you interpret your past will make you either the victim or the victor in the present. Your past does not have to define you. That's a choice that you get to make. You can choose to hold on and be the victim, or you can choose to learn and let go and be the victor. I'll give you the example of two boys raised by an alcoholic and abusive father. Both boys sharing the exact same experiences in their upbringing, then later going on to having families of their own. The one boy, now man, goes on to repeating the patterns that he learned growing up, becoming an alcoholic and abusive partner. When asked how this happened, he explains, "How could I not? Look at the way I was raised." Meanwhile, the other boy, now man, with his family, he's a loving, considerate partner who's never had a drop of alcohol. When asked how this happened, he explains, "How could I not? Look at the way I was raised." The first boy continues to see himself as a victim. He carries that identity into the present. It's infiltrated his psyche to the point that his actions and behaviors are ingrained in his identity. He's an alcoholic. He's abusive. He's still the victim of his upbringing. The other boy, now man, identifies completely different than his brother. Although he experienced the exact same upbringing, he identifies as the victor. He learned what not to do by seeing how his father behaved. He vowed never to be the same. Two boys, same experiences, different identities. We become victors when we learn from our experiences. We become victors when we accept that we did not have control over our experiences, only how we view those experiences. See, it's not the experiences that made you who you are today, but it's how you interpreted those experiences. So let me ask you, what role do you want to play in the story of your life? Because there are many chapters left to be written. Like any great novel or movie, the best plots have twists and turns, and the outcomes are rarely predictable. Your story is no different. Just when you think you know where the journey is headed, you can pick a different course. You can be the victim, but I'd suggest that audiences love the victors more.